Brothers and sisters in Islam, if the sun wants to play the role of the moon and the moon wants to play the role of the sun, what happens? You have an eclipse. You have an eclipse, either a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse. What happens when the eclipse happens? The effect of the sun is weakened, the effect of the moon is weakened, and the stars are nowhere to be seen. In the home, when the father wants to be the mother and the mother wants to be the father, you know what happens? You have an eclipse. It's called the social eclipse. And when this happens, the effect of the father is not felt, the effect of the mother isn't felt, and the children suffer the most.
Pinky ring up to the moon, and girl, I'm so damn into you. I'm done with these models and pinky ring up to the moon, and girl, I'm so damn into you. I'm done with these models and done with these bottles, girl, I'm just trying to talk to you. We don't have to go to the room, but girl, best believe if we do, that we getting out of the bottles, my party, so yeah, but that's all of the truth. And we can go as far as you want to, cause ain't nobody finna stop you. We ain't debumping out of this water, when we fornicating back at the Tahoe. Then I Marilla go off on my phone, I pick up to you saying you home alone. I hop in the whip, and I should put this on the wrist of your pistol, cause I know that it's going down tonight. Let's fuck it up now, this maybe go round, cause we in the clouds tonight. I'm trying to show you the time of your life, so girl, let you down tonight. Let's go a few rounds tonight. I'm lost in the sauce, and what's it gon' cost? Let's play your sides tonight. It's about to go down, it's about to go down, it's about to go down tonight. It's about to go down, it's about to go down, it's about to go down tonight. I'm lost in the sauce, so what's it gon' cost? Let's play your sides tonight. It's about to go down tonight. It's about to go down, it's about to go down tonight. With so many missed calls, I understand why you was pissed off. Let me explain for a minute before you start jumping to conclusion. I really don't understand why you doing this. Chill for a minute, let me explain this. I'm sorry for all the attention I ain't paying. All of this time to give you brain, yeah, I paid it. The only one that do better than the main shit. Yeah, you baby, all day, baby. You be on my mom, best believe I ain't playing. Stay up on my grind just for you is what I'm saying. Make a move for you, be on my sculpture on the daily. So maybe be less insecure, cause you the best and that I can't ensure. Like Geico, when you progressive that I can't ignore. My A1, you my lady, and that's for sure, so stop it. Ready your head just to go and pop shit off. Also bitches that ain't even really jacking, dog. You tripping, baby, I ain't even got no options, though. But if I did, I'm in my pictures, you could bleed me. Oh, goddamn, you don't understand it. When I do what you should be begging cause I'm damaged. You hit me down way before I had them blessings. You fucking up the ground like a bandit. Play vacation, motivation, keep me in the studio, see deprivation. Got me going crazy, though, my body shaking. Think about that body and the love we making faces. We was meant to be together, forever and ever, for worse or for better. And poor each other, it don't matter. You was rolling my grind, on my pockets fat. A house in the glass, one of us can shine tonight. Let's fuck it up now, this maybe go round, cause we in the clouds tonight. I'm trying to show you the time of your life, so girl, let you down tonight. Let's go a few rounds tonight. I'm lost in the sauce, so what's it gon' cost? Let's play your sides tonight. It's about to go down, it's about to go down, it's about to go down tonight. It's about to go down, it's about to go down, it's about to go down tonight. I'm lost in the sauce, so what's it gon' cost? Let's play your sides tonight. It's about to go down tonight. It's about to go down, it's about to go down tonight.
Peace, 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 peace. Hope everybody is doing well and enjoying their Sunday. But it is Sunday, so y'all know what that means. Shame. It is Shame Sundays. I'm taking over for Mrs.SheSaid today. Y'all see what it says right there. Get well soon, Mrs.SheSaid. Make sure y'all put that in the chat when you come in the building. Let her know we can't wait for her return. Hope you are feeling well, love, or more well than you were yesterday. Every day's a day closer, and you are walking the walk. So shout out to you. Hopefully I can do you some justice sitting here in this seat today. We're going to give everybody a couple of minutes to start piling in, but it's Sunday, so we're going to get to it. Mrs. is in the clouds checking us out. Hope you're doing well, Mrs. The takeover is right. Got your other half in the pilot seat today. Welcome. I'll be back soon as I can. Until then, Fire. It's a takeover. Fire for that. More fire then. But it is Sunday, and we're going to get to the pleasantries. Shout out to everybody checking in on Facebook, checking in on YouTube. You guys are so much appreciated. And it's been a week. The missus has been down, so I've been able to take over her duties and adopt her responsibilities. And I might say it is a bit much. It is always something on her plate to do, and I see why. So shout out to her for doing everything that she do, but I'm going to sit here and hold it down for you. Shout out to Billy and my guy Mo checking in on Facebook. The Best Stop crew always comes through early. So y'all pull up a chair, man. We're going to get to it. And let's get right. Subscribe to Mrs.SheSaid. Hit that share button. Send a suggestion to anybody you think may enjoy this content. She is on all social platforms. Her TikTok page be moving. A lot of activity there, a lot of comments over there. So go check out that TikTok page of hers. It's crazy. But we're going to talk about shame today. Shame, a painful feeling of humiliation or distress caused by consciousness of wrong or foolish behavior. Shame, a loss of respect or esteem and dishonor. A person's actions and or situation that brings a loss of respect and honor. That is shame. Me, I look at it a little bit different, from a different vantage point, so to speak. Shout out to Donique on the check-in. Shout out to Arshawn on the check-in. My guys, appreciate y'all. For me, shame is more of a destination. We all take different routes. You may put it in the GPS and it may take you through tolls. It may take you over a bridge, through a tunnel. But I think it ends you up at the same destination. And some people take different destinations, different courses, different vehicles. Some people may, put it to you gently and say, hey, the way you're acting, the behavior, the things you're doing, they may not be agreeable. You might want to examine. And you go home and you go, you know what? Maybe they were right. I should change that behavior. You still get to shame. You have that same reflection. Again, maybe the medicine tasted different, but the destination's still the same. Another approach is, hey, listen, you know better. Act like you got some home training. Behave accordingly. And you may feel some type of way, but you still arrive at the same destination. And that's going to be a little bit of shame. Shame. And although the medicine tasted a little harsher, it was a lot harder to palate. It still ended in the same results. And no matter what angle you come from, no matter how, the message is received, I believe the missus wholeheartedly has everyone's best interests at heart, whether you take it with a grain of salt or you take it like cod liver oil. Same results are warranted for you to just do a little bit of self-reflection, check out your behaviors and see if there's any honor or dishonor in there. Is there any consciousness or unconsciousness in that? And you move accordingly and you act accordingly. So, shout out to the missus for this approach, for the title, for the whole aspect of shame. And I hear so many people say, we need to bring shame back. We need to bring shame back. And not to say that someone is being judged wholeheartedly, like we're, the creator or the ultimate authority of judgment. No, we know that. We know there's a higher power. Whatever you call it is whatever you call it. But at the same time, there's a certain bar that we have to have as humans, a certain morality. I think some people may call it a moral compass. And there's a true north on your moral compass. You won't be able to sleep good if you kill someone. You won't be able to sleep good if you R-word someone. You won't be able to sleep good. You shouldn't. If you can, you have a different type of mentality. Might want to check out our psychopath, sociopath episode on He Says, She Says channel. But our behavior, consciously, subconsciously, unconsciously, we have to attribute it to ourselves. And it all starts with that reflection and being humble enough to take shame as what it is, a avenue or a tool for correction. And I appreciate everybody that comes through to check out the missus. And she's always in line with the children. Her ultimate goal, her ultimate message is always that if you're so focused on yourself, who's focusing on the children? And it's a great question because sometimes we get so self-absorbed with relationship, with life, with bills, with work, with perception, that we lose sight of the bigger picture and we lose sight of those people who need us the most. And the missus leans very heavy towards education. She's a homeschool parent. We try to curate Madison's education as much as possible. And with that comes a certain level of scrutiny that she has to have. And we're going to take a look at a couple of people and a couple of situations that has shaped our view of school in the traditional sense versus the opportunity to homeschool your child or take a little more authority over the education in which your child gets. They go to school from 9 to 3 in most cases. When they come home, are you able to check their work, curate their work, give them individual work to do that you assign to them, the knowledge that you want them to have? And I think a lot of the parents, we call them modern day, but mentality is mentality. If you don't have the knowledge to help curate the education of these children, how do we expect them to grow to be the flowers in which we expect? We send them off to school and tell them to go there, be great, and do great things. But how involved are we in the actual process, the day-to-day process, and getting them from ordinary to greatness? We're going to take a look at it today. We're going to take a look at a couple of people. One of the people who's very instrumental in selecting education for our children and how we educate our children is a lady by the name of Jane Elliott. Nikki's brung her up in the past, and she's been a part of conversations in our household, in social media, and on Nikki's platform. And I want to take a couple of looks at her at work and take a look at her in regards to the educational system, in regards to our children, and see what we got to say about that. I'm going to put up a video, and I want you guys to take a look at this.
Do you know how the future of your kids is stolen from them? In 1968, Jane Elliott ran an experiment where she separated an all-white classroom in 2 groups using arbitrary criteria.
Since I'm the teacher and I have blue eyes, maybe the blue-eyed people should be on top the first day. I mean, the blue-eyed people are the better people in this room. Blue-eyed people are smarter than brown-eyed people. This is a fact. Blue-eyed people are better than brown-eyed people. The blue-eyed people get 5 extra minutes of recess, while the brown-eyed people have to stay in. Brown-eyed people do not get to use the drinking fountain. You'll have to use the paper cups. You brown-eyed people are not to play with the blue-eyed people on the playground because you are not as good as blue-eyed people. I watched wonderful, thoughtful children turn into nasty, vicious, discriminating. Second year I did this exercise. I gave little spelling tests, math tests, reading tests 2 weeks before the exercise, each day of the exercise and 2 weeks later. And almost without exception, the students' scores go up on the day they're on the top, down on the day they're on the bottom, and then maintain a higher level for the rest of the year after they've been through the exercise. We've sent some of those tests to Stanford University, to the psychology department, and they did a sort of an informal review of them, and they said that what's happening here is kids' academic ability is being changed in a 24-hour period.
If priming the kids for 24 hours has such drastic results, then the conclusions are simple. If your kids are not learning their true worth through history, they will be held back through decades of forced moral and societal mental imprint. Let your kids know about their ancestors' achievements from the invention of medicine, algebra, philosophy, virtue through Ma'at, dental care, organized religion, paper, writing, calendar, binary code, Olympic Games, the wheel, sundial, pets, temple building, masonry, decimal system, astrology, astronomy, glass, police, makeup, women rights, and so much more. And that's just in Kemet, let alone the very rich entire sub-Saharan Africa where all Kemet migrated to at the end of their civilization. We will explore all of our history and restore it so that no one can limit their mind, so that no one can limit their future. Support Without History on Patreon.
You have to take a little bit of onus, a little bit of individual curation on the education of our children, of your children, in spite of the school system you send them to. Because like the sister alluded to, their performance, their confidence can be put on a scale, can go from up to down, from high to low in the matter of 24 hours based on how they're treated, how their confidence is maintained and nurtured. And it's the importance of teachers, the importance of organic counselors, the importance of important instructors and helpers within the school system. But look around to the left and to the right of the schools that's in your neighborhood. Are those teachers completely sincere about the education of the children in their classroom? And this is what they're alluding to in the video, that if we just send them to school thinking that the school is going to give them the education required to give them self-worth, to give them self-knowledge, to give them knowledge of their ancestors, knowledge of their history, knowledge of their capabilities, we have to be very naive to think that they're going to give them all of that information inside of that school system. Shout out to Sir Hale on the check-in and Inya on the check-in. I hope y'all are having an amazing Sunday. I'm sitting in for the Mrs. on a Shame Sunday. We're taking a look at the educational system, taking a look at my sister Jane Elliott, and we're going to unpack a little bit of a good conversation in regards to our children and their education and what we can do better as parents to help them, to curate them, to be better people, to be more serious about education. And I think it starts with us as the parents to have a knowledge, to have a wholehearted sincerity in regards to education, to plant it inside of them. And it starts to become a normal thing. It starts to become required. And even, you get a craving for it if you don't get it. So that was Jane Elliott in the 60s, where she started the brown eye, blue eye experiment. The day after Martin Luther King was assassinated, specifically, she assigned the children in her classroom, as you saw, positions in the hierarchy based on something not under their control, their eye color. So let's take a look at Jane. She's going to continue to work. Let's take a look at her
Where's your proof that brown-eyed people are smarter than blue-eyed people?
I tell you, brown-eyed people. You just listen. Now this is going to be an effort for you.
Be a lesson.
That's going to be an effort for you because you aren't accustomed to listening. White males are accustomed to telling things in this country.
Shout out to Sister Elliott. Y'all heard what she said? The school system, specifically. Everybody, eludes and wants to insinuate and ask questions and make accusations. Oh, you're racist. Oh, was that a racist statement? Or, all of y'all, all of us, all of we. You went to school in America from kindergarten to 8th grade, guaranteed. And if you went longer than that, the minute you get your bag, you looked around and said, I ain't living in this neighborhood no more. I'm moving to a better neighborhood. And the first thing you wanted to know is who gonna be in that neighborhood with you. Look to the left, look to the right, ask the people. We all have the same mentality. We don't want to be around the crime. We don't want to be around the dysfunction. We don't want to be around the negativity. Coincidentally, America has made us think that that is our people. And this is the school system that indoctrinated all of us. We all use that word, indoctrination, indoctrination. There's so many buzzwords running around. Shout out to everybody checking in. Hey, Yannick, hope you're doing well, Miss Lady. Facebook is heavy out there. Hey, Stephanie, hope you're doing good. If y'all want to come over to YouTube, feel free. Hit the subscribe button, like button, share button. Let somebody else come through. Tell them we live. Taking over for Mrs. today. Drop a couple Jews on y'all, like Miss Elliott. The whole United States school system. You guys don't believe me? Y'all don't believe me. Take a look.
People who are racist, in this country, we're all racist. White folks are all racist. We don't understand where it comes from. You can't cure it if you don't recognize that you have it. We all are infected with racism. We are taught to be racist in the schools. And here's just one example. Will you hold this up, please? How many of you have ever seen a map that looked like this before? How many of you have ever seen this map?
Seen that map.
Yeah. Isn't this the map that you use K through 16 in the United States of America? Now, folks, look at this map. According to your social studies teacher, what is the equator?
Right,
an imaginary line where?
Yeah.
Around the center of the earth. Then if this map is correct, then the equator must be here, and Chicago has a tropical climate. Now, folks, this is the map that we use in the schools. Look where the United States is, in the middle of the world, right? Now, here's the USSR, which is no more, of course, Mongolia, China, Africa, India, Pakistan, Afghanistan. Now, look over here. USSR, Mongolia, China, India, Pakistan, Afghanistan. Two Indias here. We have two Indias. Did you know that? Now, people, this is a flat-out lie. Look at the size of Greenland and the size of South America. According to your social studies teachers, what were continents? Largest land masses on the face of the earth, right? Now, do you know the continents? Africa, Asia, Australia, Antarctica, Europe, North America, and South America. Did I say Greenland? Well, Greenland isn't a continent, but it's a huge landmass according to this map, right? The map is a flat-out lie, people. If you read the legend on the map, here it says, in fact, South America is actually 9 times larger than Greenland. Now, look at this map. The equator on this map is down here. All the white countries are larger than they should be, and all the countries of people of color are smaller than they should be. This is a visual image that teaches children a lot.
Shout out to Sister Elliott. Teaching children lies. We send them there 5 days a week, 6 hours a day, intentionally, to be indoctrinated, to learn how to understand what people are inferior and understand how to follow authority. So when you go to jail, it's not that hard for you. We ain't even talk about the lunch. I don't even think I'm going to talk about the lunch today. I'll leave the nutritional aspect of that for the missus. That's her area of expertise. But y'all know what they feeding your child. That's why you give them so much money every day. I give up money every day, so that my child could have something to eat in case what they give is unrecognizable, unpalatable. So guess what my child does? My child takes pictures every day to show us.
Baby.
I say, hey, what'd you have today? They go, I think this was chicken today. Take a look. I think this was supposed to be chicken. So they getting fed garbage and then getting lied to and getting treated a little insensitive when it comes to the metal detectors and the searches and all of the things a teenager that's just trying to learn should not have to go through in the educational system. But y'all seen that map? Map just set up all wrong. And that's the map they use from kindergarten all the way through. We got to be able to at least be sincere enough to want our children to have a pure education. So when they come home from school and hit that door at 3:00 after we give them some nutritious food, because they always come home hungry, it's because they didn't have anything of value in those buildings. So after you give them something of value, you want to get them to get that work done. You want to check that work. And then you want to, base off of what they gave them, you want to give them something to kind of balance out all of that fast food that they fed your child with some fruits and some vegetables. But there is some people who are fortunate enough, and have the time to homeschool their children. Kudos to each and every last one of you guys. Shout out to everybody pulling in. My brother B Nizzle on the check. Hope all is well, my guy. He said he loved the tribe. We love you back. Feel better, missus. But homeschool, if you can think about making it an option, at least give it some consideration. Check out, the requirements of the curriculum. Check out how it would look economically, and check out the value that it can bring to your child, giving them an education from home, because almost anything can be turned into a learning lesson. So if you can consider it, you can. I want to give a shout out right now to Family Values. I got an amazing clip of an amazing conversation that her hubby particularly was having with a great panel. I want you guys to check this out, and we're going to unpack after this. That was an amazing conversation had by some amazing content creators and educators about our children, their education, and kind of the doors that may open in regards to sexuality, in regards to teaching children, and a host of different topics and subjects. So shout out to that panel. Shout out to, again, Family Values and the hubby. They are doing amazing work. They are having amazing conversations. And we don't always have to agree, but we can disagree without being disagreeable. And I think that was an amazing example of that. But what do you guys think of the conversation that they were having, as a whole, in regards to our children being homeschooled, because a lot of people don't want their children to mingle or associate with the children of the public school population because of the impression that they may have? And it's been a topic, this past week on the internet spaces, that influence is something that parents sometimes like to shield their children from, and sometimes even allow their children extra influences. So both sides of the spectrum exist. I would love to hear, what you guys think about the opportunities that homeschooling presents, the challenges that it presents. I can absolutely speak to both. I believe one of the positives is that you get to again take, your child's learning in your own hands, literally. One of the cons is the lack of peer involvement, the lack of healthy relationship building when it comes to people their age. And I reflect on it all of the time that Madison being so homeschooled, having such older parents, having older siblings, when she gets around a person her age, she is a little more conscious because of the environment that she's curated in. We speak to her very realistic, very organic, and we try not to sugarcoat too many things to her because the world isn't going to do that. And that comes from the education, that we were given and the education that we're trying to bestow in her that, yes, you are special to us. Absolutely. To us. Special. Us. Special. Out there, not so much. Out there, you just another person. And that's really a hard education lesson to drive home to Madison, because sometimes Madison just wants things to go her way because she's Madison. And we have to stop her sometimes and say, Madison, it's not how things work. Let us break it down to you. Let's check out what everybody's chiming in. I like how dude posed it. Was fine being around gay people, explained family values, and made a distinct, totally fair. Absolutely. It was, again, just a mature conversation. They were able to allow the conversation to exist. And I think that's the difference between people who are really trying to get to solutions, really trying to have conversations versus, something different. Anything goes at this point in our society. Our children need to be protected. Told the truth. Absolutely. I cannot imagine being homeschooled. My thoughts and upbringing came from going to school. It was an entirely different experience than the ones at home. Indeed, me as well. I was completely a school child, and that curation kind of gave me that sharp around the edges, just being around the different people, being around the different personalities and attitudes, and knowing that some days people could be having a bad day. To know that I had people that were peers, if I needed to lean on, if I needed, some tutoring, if I needed help with something, it was a whole school, a whole playing field that I can navigate through. Homeschool, not so much. You have very limited extra resources unless, that village is created, that outpost is created. Then we talking about something different. So again, if it's feasible, if it's possible, you should absolutely give it consideration. I think that homeschooling gives you a certain power over how valuable we place learning, we place education, we place truth seeking, we place getting information from multiple sources and then making a determination. With school, it's so curated in regards to this is what the teacher said to do. I probably should do it. The teacher said this, let's go ahead and stick with it. But with homeschooling, we can dive down avenues. We have different medias. We have different platforms that we can kind of weigh this information out and see what works for us and see what doesn't. But in today's day and time, I don't know if the level of parenting can accommodate this. What do you guys think? And with everyone placing their kids at the hands of the school system to ask them to educate our children with no further education, with no follow-up, I think is insensitive to the children. And I think we're asking for great results without putting in, equal amount of work. It's easy to tell the children to go out and be great, but they have to leave the house on an empty stomach, walk past dilapidation, drug use, dysfunction, violence, to go into a school that is poorly kept, that has horrible education levels, that has horrible nutritional food, that has teachers and staff with attitudes and exert more authority than education. Then they have to leave school and walk back through the things I mentioned that they had to go through to get to school. Did I even mention the bullies yet? And we tell them to go through this minefield, navigate, don't step on a mine, and make it back to greatness. I want a big old house and a big old car because I'm your mom, I'm your dad. I deserve it for putting you on the earth. No, you don't. No, you don't. You got to do the work. You got to put it into the children in order to get it back. And if you think you can do it without, shame on you. Our children are our greatest investment. We have to be the biggest advocate for our children. I don't think the missus stresses that lightly. I don't think she stresses it poorly. And I don't think she stresses it inadequately. I believe it's every week. I believe she concentrates on the curation of the children based on the behavior and the actions of their caretaker. And in most instances, those caretakers are the moms. And the mothers are the first teachers of our children. So their consciousness is going to be very important. The state of being aware and aware of one's surroundings, the awareness or perception of something by a person. We have to exert a certain level of consciousness over our children's education, over their lives. We cannot expect them to just turn out to be successful superstars overnight. The pleasantries are being exchanged in the chat. I'm going to play a video that's going to lead us to our next discussion. Everybody give yourself a round of applause for being here. It's Shame Sunday. Shout out to the missus. I hope you're feeling better. Mrs.SheSaid, she'll be back and up and running in no time. She is completely appreciative of all the well wishes and all the warm sentiments that everyone has to give. She's slowly getting herself back together. I'm working on her dinner right now. I got my turkey wings boiling, getting my barbecue sauce together. Original, of course, from scratch. And we're going to make that work. I'm going to play a video, though. Our children are very important because if we don't keep an eye on them, check this out.
Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein, who had the guts, the courage, the commitment.
Harvey and Bob Weinstein. You also break my heart with your uncensored passion.
Harvey and Bob.
And Harvey and Bob Weinstein.
Thank you, Harvey Weinstein, for putting your heart behind this film and shining the light on this. We really like to share this with you.
My friends at Miramax for making this film, especially Harvey. And,
Harvey, thank you for killing whoever you had to kill to get me up here today.
And to Harvey Weinstein, the tough guy on the playground with the biggest heart. Thank you for saying you'd do anything for your friends and You always do. Thank you.
Thank you, Harvey Weinstein.
I want to thank Harvey and Bob Weinstein's.
My agent, Kevin Uvain, and God, Harvey Weinstein. The Punisher. Old Testament, I guess.
Especially the bomber Weinstein, my godfather.
I would like to thank Harvey. Thank you to Harvey.
Harvey Weinstein for his commitment.
And to Harvey Weinstein.
Harvey Weinstein and Lawrence.
He's a kindly, wonderful, gentle man that we all deeply love. His name is Harvey Weinstein. And we do love you. And this is a good man. People don't know that, but he's done a lot of good things in life. They'll write an article about that someday, too. New Yorker.
Isn't that cute? But it's wrong!
You did it. I didn't. You did it. Shut the fuck up.
Wow. Wasn't that something? Wasn't that something? Y'all know the reason why I played that? Having a discussion. Shout out to Shame Sundays, Mrs.SheSaid. Thank you for letting me sit in for you, Mrs. But I played that for a reason. Shame on all those Hollywood scumbags. And again, the reason why, I wanted to play that right after we had this discussion about our children is because of something that I want to put up. Plausible deniability. Plausible deniability refers to the ability of an individual to deny knowing about something nefarious because there is no proof to the contrary. And this is in line with our children. Plausible deniability will be used in regards to their education when they fall short of society's expectations of following laws, following rules, understanding relationships. The school will use plausible deniability and portray the image that they have nothing to do with the way behaviors display themselves as children become adults. We as parents have to be vigilant and diligent in our children's education because of Harvey Weinstein's and all of the scumbags that will turn their back and act like they don't know what's going on when they do. It transcends into parenthood. So many parents have children that are in the streets and they are not behaving well. And their parents are aware. Because you are aware that he's not performing well in school. You are aware that he doesn't value education. You are aware that the men in his life don't value education. You are aware of his vernacular, vocabulary, the words he chooses to use, the music he chooses to listen to, the crowds she chooses to frequent. You notice these things. I come from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. Say it all the time. That is the home of plausible deniability. It's why all of the laws are curated the way they are. Oh, Mrs. Johnson, you don't know nothing about him selling drugs? Okay, don't matter. We taking your whole house. We'll encourage you to not sell drugs. By anything associated with you or your family, we taking away because you on a RICO. Your whole crew is under investigation. We stopping everything. Grandma money, grandpa's house, the cars, the clothes, your girlfriend. Girlfriends, plausible deniability, they're like having a relationship together. How many of these chicks want a scammer? He gotta be a gang member. He gotta be getting that money. I don't want no 9-to-5 guy. I gotta wait for a check every 2 weeks. I want to go to Jamaica when I want to go to Jamaica. And guess what? When the cops come knocking, plausible deniability. I ain't know nothing. I ain't know he was acting like that out in them streets. And then when you get locked up, she's on to the next one to do the same thing. Plausible deniability. On these panels in conversation, plausible deniability. They know so much until the conversation starts to logically go another way. Then it's like, I don't know about all of that. Hold up. I gotta check my notes on that. Well, damn. Plausible deniability. And the school system is no different. So again, I'm not against anybody sending their child to school. We have to leave our home to work. We have to have at least 8 to 10, sometimes 11 to 12 hours out of our day free. And we do not have time to continue to monitor, a young person and still pay our bills. So I understand some people have to go to school. But again, if it's something that you can consider, I think it's worth consideration, because my wife played a video last week and I'm going to play it again this week because I think it's worth it. Let's go through it. I didn't get a chance to go through it with her. She went through. Let's go through together.
This is absolutely horrible. There's a 20-day attendance policy. It doesn't mean a thing. Kids don't have to show up for class. They cut. I'll have kids with maybe 30, 40, 50, 60 days of absence, maybe another 20 or 30 days of cuts, and sometimes they're even suspended. So when it comes time to the end of the year, I fail them, and then I'm asked, what can we do about passing them?
What can we do about passing them? If that was your class, y'all, in the chat, let me know. What can we do about passing this person who hardly comes to class? How is it even a discussion? You know how? Plausible deniability. You know this child ain't been in my class. This isn't even a discussion. What can we do to pass? I can tell you what we could do. We could take it again. It'll really be easier the second time. It's so crazy that people use plausible deniability to their advantage instantaneously. Child missed 80% of the school year. You asking me, what can we do? I was one of those, middle and high school. Go to school, girl.
Shame.
Get your butt in class. Wow. Shows don't only care about their own school statistics. Absolutely. That's where the check comes to them. From the government. From the government. Our money, taxpayer money. Passing and not coming to class. That's the new age participation trophies. Talk about it, Danny. Talk about it. It's what they do. It's what they do. Participation trophy just for being down. Let's keep looking.
I said, how can you pass them? They weren't here.
What does administration say about this? You presented this to them.
I send them documentation every marking period, just like the documentation I gave you. So they have it every marking period, what's going on. It's just overlooked. They could care less.
It's overlooked. They could care less. Until when? Until they want them to pass. And then they come and say, what can we do to get them to pass? See what plausible deniability? You know, I send out the curriculum all the time. You have the information. You don't care. Until the last month. Now you care. Plausible deniability. I see it every day. Every day. You guys know I work for credit unions, and I do loss mitigation every day. I hear a story every day. I'm like a damn counselor on that phone every day. The latest one, the funniest one is I got a guy on the phone. He needs some help with his car loan. He can't pay it. Can I get some help with my car loan? I take a look at his account. We just helped him last month. Next payment this month. Now you calling this month and you can't make this one either. What can we do? You mean in addition to what we already did? He forgot about that already. So he says, do I have any options? Not really. We just helped you last month. You really are out right now. We need you to be a little more invested before we could do something else. He tried to ask me again, right? So you saying I don't have no option? Y'all know what I said, right? Y'all know what I said. I said, yeah, you do. You got an option. I can transfer you to the repossessions department for voluntary repossession. He ain't like that. He ain't like that, y'all. He asked for another option. I gave him an option, but he ain't like it. He meant to ask me for only the options that he likes. And this is people. This is the plausible deniability that they use. They know what's going on. They continue to move in a naive fashion or disrespectful because they know you're an intelligent person. You're aware of what's going on. So you're just completely, blatantly disrespecting my instruction, curation, so on and so forth. Like this teacher who has sent out the itinerary, sent it out. Let's keep going.
Because I know at the end of the year, they will still graduate, especially if they were a senior.
And why are they doing all this?
To keep the numbers up, to say, look, we always had a very low graduation rate. Like I said, especially with seniors. So they want the numbers to go up. We're usually around 300, maybe a little over 300. They just want those numbers to go up. It has nothing to do with education or kids being in school or being responsible to be.
Has nothing to do with it. Isn't that something? Trash. Like Arshawn says, school system is trash. Again, I know you guys, some people have to send their kids to school. All I'm saying is curate that work. Take a look at those assignments. Go and meet that teacher. Have a conversation with that teacher. Let them know who they dealing with. Let them know it's some parents in this school, but I'm not those parents. I'm not them. Like, I go to open school with the missus. The teacher goes through this whole soliloquy. I ask the teacher one question. One question. Every class, every teacher, every school, one question. Does my child give valuable contributions in class? That's all I want to know. I don't need to know nothing else. If the answer is yes, I'm ready to leave. Because that tells me everything I need to know. If they're giving valuable contributions in class, that means, number one, they came to class, they paying attention, they internalize the information and spit back out something valuable. My work is done. I don't need to know nothing else. But did I have to sit down and curate my children to understand that I only need to ask one question to the teachers? I don't need to know all the rest of that day-to-day nonsense. That's not my thing. I have a certain area of expertise. My brain is small. It can't handle too much stuff at one time. So I ask that one little question and we keep it moving, but we don't see a lot of parents. Where you at? And it's just like what this teacher is saying right here. They could care less. Eda Man Williams in the building. Shout out to my guy. They could care less about their children's education. They got better stuff to worry about, like who they man sleeping with, when the next trip gonna happen, what's the next color hair they gonna get. Now y'all know that. Y'all know that shit. Now that's complicated. Because you can't, right? You can't do blonde and then red right after blonde, right? No, you got to do like blonde and then blue and then like Skittle or some shit. That's what they worrying about. We're going to get to them in a second. Be involved in your child's life. Don't let them have a chance to feel like they are all alone to face the corruption of what school is nowadays. You are absolutely right. Absolutely right. What is that? Scooby snack. Salute to you. You are absolutely right, sir. I think it's what we prioritize, the signals we send our children. Again, I think people have way more important things going on in their opinion than trying to, make sure my child got an environment that's therapeutic for learning and, free of corruption. But let's hear what my man got to say.
In class, they definitely will never show up for a makeup. Most kids don't even show up at all the last 2 weeks of school.
Got to stop there. So they not only bad, they the silliest people in the world, because that's the best time of school. Y'all remember them last 2 weeks of school when you had to take your books back? You had to clean out your locker. We don't have no work. We running around the joint with sunglasses on. That's when you're supposed to wear sunglasses in high school. Not on a panel with a robe and your taco meat hanging out with your glass of Merlot. Y'all dudes, man, and I'm talking about a man. Talk about a man. The internet is the craziest places, man. If y'all dudes don't stop wearing shades, it ain't no damn sun around here. Ain't no sun around here. It's nighttime. Nigga pull up on a panel with shades on. Not one night, every goddamn night. If you don't let them see them damn bags under your eyes, old man, we know you old. Men ain't supposed to be pretty. Y'all niggas swear y'all pretty. Y'all ain't pretty. We ain't supposed to be pretty. Shame on y'all for thinking that y'all supposed to be shame. All right, I digress. Let's bring homeboy back.
Which makes me wonder, why do we bother even have 181 days of school for kids?
So the last 2 weeks of school, you're saying, are after the final exam?
Correct. And that goes to, like, you figure kids would be turning in their books, making arrangements to, if they had to do any extra work, get extra credit in. But I kind of figured out why they have that that extra 2 weeks, and they can really care less about the kids. I believe that's the administration's way to sit down and figure out which kids, how they can manipulate a teacher to get them to change their grade, they will come into a classroom and ask me, is there anything we can do for this kid so he can pass?
Let's talk about student discipline. I'm going to read something you wrote.
No, let's put a pin in that, what you just said. Y'all heard him. Like I was saying, man, those last 2 weeks, the sunglasses and the water guns. We used to bring water guns because it's June. It's hot outside. We bring water guns. We chilling. Everybody eating Butter Crunch cookies, and we in the lunchroom playing cards. Like, now's the time where cutting is permissible because nobody really has anything to do. So running around the hallways and goofing off in the gym, all of that stuff is fair game now. You done went 4 years in this school. Do your thing, man. You graduating in a couple of weeks. Run around, and that's what they talking about. Those 2 weeks. Clean your damn locker out. Say thank you to some of these teachers that curated your life, that helped you get through this 4 years of jungle that was Martin Luther King High School. I don't know what high schools y'all went to, but Martin Luther King High School in New York City, the first school to get metal detectors, jungle. So you had to do a little bit of thinking and pay some homage to the people who helped you get through that, security guards and all of that. And B9 is absolutely right. They cannot worry about their damn kids when they Beyonce tickets is to buy. What are y'all talking about? You're absolutely right. Let's take a pause for the cause because B9 says so. Let's do this.
Baby? Yeah, babe. I love you. I love you too. What's going on? Baby, I really want to go to B concert. It's in July and pre-sale for tickets is February 16th. You don't have to get me a V-Day gift or a B-Day gift. I just want to see Beyonce. Please. Come on now. We agreed to not spend money on entertainment until we save enough for our house. We've been saving 10 months. I can't do it, babe. Sorry. I'm begging you. She doesn't do concerts often. This is once in a lifetime thing. This would really make me happy, baby. Please. You told me last year an engagement would really make you happy. I did that. Then you said a house would really make you happy. We made a deal to not waste money on stuff like that. Her tickets start at $600 for nosebleeds without taxes and fees. We can't do it. Once we get this house, we can have fun. Stay focused, baby. So it's a no? When the tickets go on sale, they won't last long. She will be sold out in hours. I'm begging, and you're still saying no? No. Stay on course, babe. We will talk about this later. I love you. Wait, some of that money is mine, though. I know I gave you at least $1,000 towards the house fund. Please give me my money, and I'll pay it back later. Are you serious, Gemma? Tell me you're joking. I'm very serious. When can I pick it up? You're telling me Beyonce is more important than our dream house we've been saving 10 months for. You contributed $710 to the fund. The rest is me. You promised to be responsible. I want my money. Okay, I'll withdraw today and you can pick it up. The engagement is off. I need a break. What? So you're breaking up with me for asking for my money? Fine. Text me when I can pick it up. Bye. I'm sorry, but Beyonce got some of y'all in a chokehold. Ain't no way I'm about to jeopardize my engagement to go see a woman who's going back home to her husband. Now, how much sense does that make? But unfortunately, some of y'all priorities be backwards as hell. If you having to scrounge up money to go to Beyonce's concert, honey, you don't need to be going. But on the brighter...
Absolutely right. Did y'all see B9's comment? Can't worry about no damn kids when there's Beyonce tickets to buy. And he's right on time, as usual. See what Arshawn said? That's the sign God giving you to leave. He got left for Beyonce. Ain't that something? You gotta love these women, man. And these are the women that we want to curate our children. It seems like they have other priorities. And it's very, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? I just can't, it's on the tip of my tongue. Let's bring back my guy.
Of students roam the building all day, every day, all year. They will enter my room during a lesson. I ask them to leave. I'm ignored. I ask again. I'm still ignored. When I come over to them, they'll start running around my classroom, swearing, cursing at me, taking things that don't belong to them. Some grab safety glasses and run out of a shop class. Then eventually make a stance of defiance, swear, threaten, curse at me. Finally, when I have to go outside the classroom door and yell for security because I have trespassers, then they run out. And you say they also do this when they're looking to fight or beat someone up.
They have done this to other classes. Gangs of kids will roam the building. They're looking for a certain person. They'll walk into the classroom. They'll find that kid and just start a fight in that class. It's just that simple.
Retribution, basically.
I don't know. I don't know what the reason is. A lot of times there's really no reason. Sometimes it may be over something stupid. You looked at me stupid. But it's just absolutely, it's nothing more. I can explain it really simple. It's an indoor street corner.
That's the children he's talking about. That's his perception. That's how he's receiving our children. We're sending them there, thinking they're getting a great education. They're behaving unusual. They're not using school for the purpose in which it stands. Is it the school's fault? Is it the children's fault? Is it the parents' fault? Either man talking about Beyonce. That's the best thing that could have ever happened to that man, was that concert, right? Revealed her true colors shining through. Savannah's on the check-in. Hey, Miss Lady. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had an amazing week. I'm filling in for the missus on Shame Sunday. We having a conversation about our children, the educational system. This gentleman just said it's like a street corner. And B9 made a comment that the mothers can't be concerned with their children's education level because they're very worried about Beyonce's concerts and those tickets. So B tickets or cumin tutoring. These your kids, remember? I don't know, B9. I'm going to have to think. Let me see. Tutoring. Beyonce. Think. No. It's crazy. I'm going to go with tutoring for 300, Alex. Get him that good shit. Get him that good shit tutoring. Upper echelon. It's cran apple juice laid out. A couple of pineapple slices. Shout out to everybody that identifies as a pineapple. But let's bring him back. He said it sounds like and appears to him to be an indoor street corner. Goddamn. Savannah, an indoor street corner. Let's hear him describe it.
Our school is an indoor street corner. When I walk in that building, I have no idea anymore the concept of what right and wrong is.
So you're standing there in class, you're trying to teach, and you'll see groups of kids just enter the classroom intent on beating a particular kid up.
Right.
And what are you supposed to do? What does administration tell you to do?
First of all, the union always tells us not to get involved because if we get hurt, we may be liable. Or if we try to break it up and a kid gets hurt, then we're definitely liable.
I don't know if y'all ready for what I'm about to tell y'all. Y'all ready? Put a one in the chat if y'all want some real juicy information about what he just said about how to intervene, not to intervene, the lawsuits that ensue. Do y'all know that that's the reason why this behavior is never going to stop? This behavior is never going to stop because there's always a poor person looking for a come up, Savannah. It's always a person that I'll start a fight in school, and if the teacher grabs me and throws me off of him, if I hurt my shoulder, lawsuit. Teacher grabbed me the wrong way, counselor touches me the wrong way, somebody adjusts me the wrong way, and I get hurt, lawsuit. Even better, I get arrested, I go to jail, a CO assaults me, I slip and fall into jail, somebody assaults me, another prisoner hits me, lawsuit. My brother called me the other day. He was so upset. He said, yo, you know, so-and-so from my neighborhood, he went to jail and he got hurt in there and he got a lawsuit. He a millionaire now. I had to work hard for my money and he a millionaire. I said, nigga, if you don't shut up. That's what it is nowadays. Anything can lead to a come up. And that's why all of the men are going to be outside at 11 o'clock in the damn morning when they should be at work because the police may roll up, throw them up against the wall, break their arm, lawsuit. Now I just got a lawsuit for standing outside at 11 o'clock in the morning. Who's going to stop? They're encouraging the behavior. There's always a way in America to make some profit off of pain. And guess what they mama gonna do? Plausible deniability. Let's call Benjamin Crump. We gonna get the biggest check they could get, and Benjamin will be right there. Yeah, it's an egregious system against our kids. And he ain't lying. But you need to take a little bit of responsibility too. The damn school is an indoor street corner. And they're gonna profit off of it more than likely. Touch one of them the wrong way. Those are my kids at that point. If anyone I don't expect coming into my classroom comes in, I will be the first person to confront them. And you're going to fight a teenager? You confront them, they don't back down. It becomes a confrontation. If a push happens, a shove happens, it can go a whole nother way. Somebody could be arrested and they're going to look at you and say, you know, you were the adult. You were abusing that minor. And plausible deniability, that child who listened to Waka Flocka and young NBA young boy going to come to court, plausible deny, he going to have on a tie. They're going to talk about all the church he go to. Plausible deniability. They know he's a monster. But now when it's going to come time for that case, it's going to look different. These are the type of class the school should be teaching. I am looking at private schools innovation, communication, emotional intelligence, problem solving, leadership, accountability. Yeah, things that we can use after we graduate this motherfucker. Notice how that's not a part of the curriculum. They can't even balance a checkbook when they leave high school. They have no idea how to do their own taxes. I got a friend, he had to help his almost 30-year-old son with his taxes. The DA's office has a pay scale for wrongful police actions in all major cities. But how will you live with myself? They killed the student I was looking after. What you mean? You wasn't looking after him. You were teaching him. It's not your job to look after anyone. You're there to perform a service for those children, and that's education. Now, if you, as a individual teacher, can go above and beyond to maintain their safety, that's what makes you an amazing teacher, Scooby Snack. That's the difference between us and them. We recognize the amazing teachers. We told him, good looking out, Mr. So-and-so, because you was there for me. Like I said, there were sharks in the water in my school. That last 2 weeks, you needed to thank a couple of people. Security guards. It wasn't no joke. And even if it wasn't just for protection, it was for helping you get through these 4 years. We used to find out about weed in high school and go in the bathroom and blaze up. Security guard come in, he don't suspend us. He don't expel us. He say, yo, y'all know y'all ain't, man, if y'all don't go to class. And we did just that. But I think it's that, hierarchy. They don't understand that there's people put in place to keep you safe. There's people put in place to curate your education. And this man is one of them. The assessments he's making, the way he's articulating it, he doesn't deserve to have to be a security guard / teacher / nutritionist / counselor / therapist just to get through his 6 hours of the day. Let's bring him back so he can finish up.
We have to call security. We have police in the building. They are not allowed to do anything unless they are told by administration first. If they should take a stance, if a fight should break out and they go to break up the fight, they will not be allowed in the building. I don't know what the exact word you would say. They would be banned. They would be not allowed to work in that building again because they're getting paid overtime.
apologists for, the term I use, apologists for the education establishment, would say it's nothing to do with the school. It's not the school's fault. It's that it's poverty. That's the real problem. They're these are kids from poverty, and so there's nothing else the schools could be doing.
I don't believe that. You're going to tell me because somebody's poor, I grew up poor, just because somebody's poor, they don't have manners, they don't know right from wrong, you don't know you're not supposed to swear at an adult, you're not supposed to threaten people. Bottom line, whether you're poor, rich, whatever, you won't want somebody doing that to your mother. So why would you do that to somebody else? It's simple. It's got nothing to do with money or economics or any other word. If they're so poor, how come they all have the best of cell phones and they all have $100+ sneakers? And they brag about the T-shirts that they spend $30, $40, $50, where I'll go buy 3 for $6. The bottom line is, if they're not being educated, they're basically getting a high school diploma, they're illiterate, we are ruining a nation. And our administrators are allowing this. Nobody cares. And it took me a long time to be retired in order to bring this up, because all the teachers are afraid.
Shout out to him for giving that testimony and giving us that information to work with. So what do y'all think? Like he said, a lot of teachers, don't even want to address these issues. And he had to be retired for a period of time before he even came forward with it. Is it because they're poor? Is it the economical challenge? But he used words like respect, and he alluded that he was economically challenged as well, but he still knows the value of morality, of having a moral compass, of treating people with respect. You wouldn't want your mom to be treated like that. But what if their mom's is the type of woman that wants Beyonce tickets instead of a house? You guys see the correlation? You see why it's so easy for them to act out? And you point out something like, you might, bring some shame to your mother by acting like that. And they go, no, because my mother ain't got no damn shame. My mother ain't got no shame. You ain't seen my mother? I'm pro homeschooling at this point. Just from this stream, it's too much of a risk to send my child to school, and I don't even have one yet. Smart man. At least consider it. Again, some people economically it's a challenge. Sometimes the dynamic of the relationship may cause a challenge, and time. There's only, a few hours in a day in regards to 24 of them, and you got to use 8 of them to sleep and a few of them to work, and you got to get to and from work. You need 1 for dinner. You need 1 for a shower. You need 1 to check in with the family. How many left? It's only 24. We used up 16 from sleeping and working. So, just consider it. Take a look at your city, your state, the curriculum, what it will require, and you can take it at whatever pace you like. You can work on weekends, you can work on holidays, you can work on nights, you can work on the schedule that you create, because again, it's about valuing education, and there is no days in the Harris house where school ain't thought about. Christmas Day, Sunday, I don't give a damn. It's always something to learn. You can look over a lesson. You make sure you do something educational on your tablet. Take a couple of seconds to be creative, but we're going to break it up every day. Because American kids, they get so many days off. Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Christopher Columbus, whoever, Juneteenth. Every reason not to go to school. For people who can't read already, only know 1 language, and they don't speak that one correct. I ain't never met people proud to only speak 1 language. Proud of it. Wear it on their sleeve. You're in America. Speak American. Number 1 is English. It's not yours either. Belong over there, across the waters, over the pond. And number two, you don't speak it correctly. Your participles are dangling right now.
Be wrong for that, baby.
So, value education, value prioritizing education. Find a lesson in things. It's going to be annoying to the kids at first, but they're going to start to crave it. They're going to start to do it. And that's when you start feeling like, holy shit. They're going to say, come here, Pops, come here. Check this out. Look inside of this. Boop, 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 boop. You go, wow, very nice. It's rewarding. But let's get back to what B9 was saying. If your concentration is Beyonce tickets, I might know why.
This is what you have to remember. The average black woman in America don't get no older than about 14. So just talk to her and deal with her like you dealing with a 14-year-old. Don't come at her like you dealing with an equal, because she's not going to be able to accept that. You got to go way back. And we cut off at about 14 to 15. We don't develop and mature no further until we get some new information and accept some different information. Look at a lot of my lectures on YouTube. People have put everything I got out there just about. They rob me every day. So go and look those up and listen to some of those. And they're in short enough clips that you'll be able to get some information and be able to share that with her. Because I give it out really straight and really direct. And I give us useful tools that we can use every day like you're talking about. But if you love her, and she gonna fight against right, because that's how we have been reared by the enemy. That ain't her you fight.
Baby, yeah, babe. I love you. I love you too. What's going on? Baby, I really want to go to B concert. It's in July.
She gonna fight against right. It's not her. She been programmed like that because she went to school. Ask me where she went to school at. In America. She's been programmed.
A lot of us never get taken seriously outside of sexual pleasure, having fun, kicking it. Our lifestyle, our culture is prostitute. What can I get for my sexual deviance, if you will? What can I get for my sex appeal? What can I sell? A lot of us are for fucking sale. And y'all think men from all over the world don't see that? We can be bought for cheap. There's nothing wholesome, there's nothing sacred about us. And men peep game on that. And they're like, damn, these bitches, why would I want to marry that? Why would I want to settle down? Why would I want to impregnate that? Why would I want to build a family with that?
Was she lying? Was B9 lying? They weren't about Beyonce tickets. They weren't about what color hair they gonna have. They weren't about lashes. Y'all want me to keep going? They weren't about enhancing their bodies. They're worrying about girls' trips. They're worrying about feeling happy. They're worried about graduating from marriage. They're worried about entanglements with the friends of their children. They're worried about everybody being wrong that got something to say about the way they're behaving. You guys tell me, am I off? I don't know. I could be off. But I know one thing. There's never, ever, ever a lack of material. Like ever.
Things we want in a man. A list of things. He got to be tall. He got to be dark. He got to be handsome. He got to have pretty teeth. He got to be a family man. He got to be financially stable. He got to be rich. He got to be successful. He got to be all these things. And we ain't even half the things on that list. He got to be a family man. Bitch, you ain't talked to your mama in 6 months, but you want him to be a family man. He got to be financially stable. Your account is in the negative, ma'am. Overdraft fees. He got to have a job. You need to go fill out some applications because you're still unemployed. He got to have pretty teeth. You ain't seen a dentist in 6 years. He got to have a six-pack and be in shape. You can't even walk up a flight of stairs without huffing and puffing. Get your life together. This whole list that he got to be. You ain't even half the things on that list. So this is what I challenge you to do so we can manifest love all 2021.
Did anything on that list that she alluded to have anything to do with a man's character, with how he'll curate the children, with how he'll nurture and guide the children? I don't know. I didn't hear anything. Maybe you guys did. It's a sign of immaturity. Once you don't care about what others think anymore, your whole personality will change. You ain't lying about that. I got 5 on it. Talk to him, B Nizzle. Mrs. is laughing. We can't have her laughing too much. Nah, it was the thing she needed to be able to show off her friends. Yeah, I mean, it's the priorities are completely screwed up. And when I see a video where sisters say their mentality don't raise above 14 years old unless they get some new information and accept some new information from somebody with some level of intelligence, with some level of being realistic, they're not going to change. They're going to continue to be the selfish, self-centered, enabling, go along to get along, excuse-making, cantankerous gutter snipes that they are. Because they will not humble themselves to take some curation, some correction, some direction, some guidance, some discipline, some morals, some...
Baby, yeah, babe. I love you. I love you too. What's going on? Baby, I really want to go to B concert. It's in July and pre-sale for tickets is February 16th. You don't have to get me a V-Day gift or a B-Day gift. I just want to see Beyonce. Please. Come.
Please.
This is what you have to remember. The average black woman in America don't get no older than about 14.
So it's coincidence when women say it. Because when men say it, we're insensitive. But women are saying it more and more, louder and louder, even more than Mrs.SheSaid. She's not the only one. There's other people. Y'all don't believe me?
Realizing is that women, especially black women, are a special kind of stupid. Now, I'm told that they're educated far greater than black men, but you have to be crazy to decide, I don't need a man. And you know what? I'm still going to have children, but in order to take care of this child, I'm going to go out and work 8 to 10 hours a day. And then when I get home, I'm going to be too tired to actually parent. So I'm going to let my children be raised by TV and social media. And so then you have your daughter thotting on the gram, and then your son being this thug. But you know, hey, I'm educated and I'm smart, and I get to celebrate Mother's Day and Father's Day. No, what you are is an educated fool, because who in their right mind would decide that they want to go against the very nature of a woman and the reason why God put us on this earth?
She's wrong too, right? Everybody that has something to say to a woman about correction or self-reflection is wrong. Understandable. But see, here's my thing. Here's my thing. Brace yourself.
Be wrong for that, baby.
Because it's coming. If you had a child with a man, and for whatever reason you guys are no longer together, the child may lack in that specific area of not having a stay-at-home live-in dad. He may lack in that area. But guess what? We can make up in other areas, right? The other areas we can go even harder in to kind of, supplement for that loss. But like she said, if you work 8 hours a day, we talked about the 24 it is in a day, and you work 8 of them, you sleeping for 8 of them, you working for 8 of them, and when you come home, in her words, you're too tired to parent, how are you curating this child's homework? How are you cooking a nutritious dinner? How are you curating a peaceful home? How are you doing this when you're too tired to do it? It's going to be really, really hard. The children are going to lack, and it's going to fall, through your fingertips. And when it's all said and done, when the police come knocking at the door and say, little Billy got in trouble, you're going to use plausible deniability. I didn't know. His daddy not here. Why are you not concentrating in the other areas of his life? Why are you so worried about the way you look, what men are bringing to the table, what city Beyonce is in, what Michael B. Jordan is doing? Why is that of such importance? And don't say it's not, because it is. The proof's in the pudding. I see it every day. It's never a lack of material. But guess what? Again, not paying attention to our children, it turns into this.
Mayor's house here in College Park and recovered several electronic devices. Police arrested 47-year-old Patrick Willian at his College Park home Thursday morning.
February 17th, 2023, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children notified the Prince George's County Police that a social media account operating in the county possessed and distributed suspected child pornography.
That was the mayor of Maryland. Not currently, but former. And he has just been arrested for having possession of really sensitive information. Let's continue to look.
Morning, the Prince George's County Police Department's investigators arrested a College Park man for possession and distribution of child pornography. The suspect is 47-year-old Patrick Willian. On February 17th, 2023, the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children notified the Prince George's County Police that a social media account operating in the county possessed and distributed suspected child pornography. The image and videos had been uploaded to the social media account in January of 2023. Through various investigative techniques, PGPD investigators discovered the social media account belonged to Mr. Patrick Willian. On February 28th, 2023, Prince George's County Police detectives served a search warrant at Willian's College Park home. Investigators recovered multiple cell phones, a storage device, a tablet, and a computer. Following additional investigation, PGPD obtained criminal charges against Willian, and investigators took him into custody early this morning. Willian is charged with 40 counts of possession of child exploitative material and 16 counts of distribution of the same child exploitative material. He is in custody of the Prince George's County Department of Corrections. This remains an open and active investigation.
Yeah, that was one of the first openly gay mayors in our country. Coincidentally, it was Maryland, where we currently reside. I had to do a little research, but absolutely. And we absolutely appreciate the community. We respect the community. And I think personally, this is another reason why we have to monitor, our children, the schools they go to, the events that they frequent, and even the, people who come in to visit class, the people who come in as guest speakers. We have to be aware and a little more on hand when it comes to the information that's dispensed to our children and by who. And not to villainize any one particular person, but because of the dangerous liaison that happens when these experiences bridge together. Like you see the clip played, that was the first openly gay mayor for Maryland, and he's done a host of events. You see there was flyers for pride events in College Park and a host of, meetings and seminars that he did that involved children. And the thing that is sensitive to me and the missus, particularly as parents, and I think sometimes the people in the LGBTQ plus community and the people of the heterosexual community have a kind of a breakdown in communication, is that sometimes the information can be kind of a gateway to questionable information entering children that are impressionable, which can sway them to one side of the fence or the other prematurely. And I think individuals as such, alluded to in the video clip, is kind of that liaison, that gateway, that yes, there are many people in the community that are doing amazing things for all communities. And all people should be respected. No one should have to explain their existence. No one. But at the same time, like that clip I played earlier of those amazing parents and educators having a very educated conversation, there's a way to curate, there's a way to have some sort of an eye or an ear to the information in which is being bestowed to our children, because some of these people have personal lives. And although their intentions are well, coming into our children's classrooms and educating our children about the way the world is and how the world is maturing and accelerating and all of those things, at the same time, we have to give consideration to those parents, to those, educators that feel children should not be subject to certain information at certain times. Some parents want to take it upon themselves to teach their children about the birds and the bees and sexuality and how men should treat women and women should treat men and so on and so forth. And I think that's what the miss is. And a lot of people really, would like the public to understand that I don't think anyone, that's in our mature circle. Y'all heard what I said. I worded that specifically. I don't think anyone that's in our mature circle has a problem with one's lifestyle, with what they choose to do romantically and privately at all. The thing is, once it starts to liaison, once it starts to marry with, once it starts to accompany Pandora's box, which kind of opens this world of sexuality to children that are not ready for it, they're not able to process it. And by our own laws and statutes, they don't have the right to make a decision as of yet. So depending on, a latchkey kid, an impressionable child, someone who, again, is just on the fence about themselves, about their maturity, about puberty, about all of the questions that we have as children, coming into these spaces where, we have guest speakers, we have people who we don't know 100%, but we're still allowing them to come and speak to our children. I'm just suggesting, the missus is just suggesting that we as parents are a little more astute, a little more purposeful. Rest in peace to my girl, Queen B. A little more intentional when it comes to our children's education and the information that they get. All right, this was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed me checking in for the misses, but we got to do better. We got to do better as parents individually. we have to do better as men in articulating to these women what is required, what is expected, and what's it going to take in order to make these kids grow from pieces of coal into diamonds. And if not, keep this in your head for the rest.
No, please don't punch my daughter.
Okay, I will.
Then get up off of your ass and do something with your daughter. If you don't want the world to punch your daughter, get off your ass and curate your daughter. Give her something to do. Don't try to delegate life from the couch. Don't try to tell them to be better than you while you're not setting an example of excellence. Because if you think you're going to get something for nothing, shame on you. So have an amazing week. Be good to somebody that is not you, because that's when real character shines through. I have to go and season my turkey wings and get my barbecue sauce ready from scratch so that I could get Mrs.SheSaid nice and fed. Keep her hydrated so that she can have an amazing week of recovery and we could get her back to us as soon as possible, because this is a heavy seat to sit in. I had to do research and all of this stuff. Mrs. Goodness gracious, girl. I don't know how you do it. But yo, I appreciate each and every last one of y'all that checked in. Y'all have an amazing week. Hopefully Mrs.SheSaid will be back very soon. But this was Shame Sunday. We got one message for all of y'all, men and women alike.
When do we want it? Now! Stop simping. Take our freedom.
And have an amazing week.
Everything in creation and in physical form has its own fundamental resonant frequencies. Everything in creation and in physical form has its own fundamental resonant frequencies.